And a very good evening and welcome to the Key Centre for the final game here in this arena for Day 2 of the 2018 IWRF GIO Wheelchair Rugby World Championship. Should be a terrific contest here between Ireland and Sweden. Ireland, of course, coming off losses to Japan and Denmark earlier today. Sweden, they had a loss to Denmark yesterday. And, of course, they had performances against Australia earlier in the piece. So they're looking for a win as Moylan gets us underway for Ireland. And now the play goes away for Sweden, and it'll be played there by Sandberg. He'll just work his way nicely. Nice work from Moylan in a defensive role. Sandberg trying to get his line there. Nice pass over the top. Gives possession away there, and it comes beautifully for Jansen, and Stefan Jansen. He gets a square at one apiece. 30 seconds into this contest. John O'Farr in commentary this evening for this one between Ireland and Sweden. Ball goes away to Moylan. He's scored so many points, hasn't he, across the last 2 days for this tournament. And getting another try there for the Irish. So Ireland, the very first time they've been in the competition. So it's wonderful to have them a part of this tournament in 2018. Of course, Sweden, veterans in this particular tournament. So they play it close to the line, and it'll be Tomas Yatt that gets the try on that occasion for the Swedes. 2 apiece now, 7 to go before quarter time as now it comes to Dineen. Dineen works his way. McCarthy, great coverage as you can see there in front of Dineen. Alan Dineen played a terrific game earlier in the day with their clash against Denmark. And now it goes through for that try. So Alan Dineen gets the try for the Irish, and they lead it narrowly 3-2. So terrific performances from both the Irish and the Swedes. Of course, Sweden sit in 6th place and Ireland are in 12th position. Nice little passage of play. Jansen will get the ball. He did particularly well in limited real estate because he kept himself away from that corner post. And he gets the try there for Sweden. So now McCarthy will inbound it for Ireland. The captain gives it nicely to Dineen. Dineen works it across. Has his man there and will dog it just in front of him in a defensive role. But Dineen takes on the attack, goes towards Jansen and Yatt. Now it goes across to Dineen, pops a good pass away to Moylan. Moylan works his way nicely, just in that attacking half as you can see. Plays it just at the line, holds it nicely. Oh, great overhead pass to Dineen. And Dineen, the holding call is there. So not particularly happy with it. You can see the reaction on Alan Dineen's face. It's been a terrific day 2 of the IWRF Wheelchair Rugby Championship. The last game, as I said, on day 2. And, of course, here at this Key Arena. It's the first ever meeting between these two sides, of course. Ireland in their first tournament. So it'd be great to see which one can get the wood over each other. Goes away to Jansen and Sweden. They just build on their lead. So 4-3 now with 6 to play. McCarthy inbound to Dineen. Dineen works it nicely. Good pass over the top, Moylan. He'll just get 1 and 2 bounces. Picks it up fortuitously. And the Irish, they square level at 4 apiece. Sweden 6th, Ireland 19th in the world rankings. But of course 12th in this tournament because they're new to the tournament. 12 sides. Great sponsorship involved as Sandberg gets a tyre change, you can see there. Great to see Conrad Hildebrand on court. He's the man, blonde hair, 9, jumper. So GIO, I should say, the naming rights sponsor, City and Land Rover, the major sponsors. The government support from Australian Government, New South Wales Government and Sydney.com. And, of course, great support from the Defence Force, the Navy, Rugby AU and Wheelchair Sports New South Wales. So wonderful to have them a part of the wheelchair rugby family at these GIO IWRF World Championships. And the try is scored there to Sandberg for Sweden. So 5-4, the lead goes back to the Swedes. Moulton is the official ball. for these championships, and it's given back in field to Moylan. Moylan works it nicely just outside the defensive key, trying to work. Sandberg gets in there. Deneen gives good coverage. And Moylan will simply just go through for the try. So 5 apiece, 5:23 left in this first term. Almost set for a start here. Hildebrand will get us back underway in just a moment. Tickets are still available for all the action for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. Still 4 more days still to go here at the Wheelchair Rugby World Championship. The finals day is Friday as Yak gets the try there for Sweden. Tickets are available, but going fast. 2018 WRWC.com is the website that you need for all that ticket information. Tickets start from around the $50 mark for the family, $20 for adults, and the concession price is $10. That's for the general days like today, the pool games, as Moylan scores for Ireland. And the finals, it just picks up a little bit, but you'd expect that being a premium day. $35 for adults, $20 for concession, and the family pass is $90. Or if you want an event pass, now at the start of the tournament, it would have been $75 for adults, $40 for concession, and $190 for family. But because we're down to that 4-day remaining period, it might be a little bit cheaper. But for all the details, head to 2018 WRWC.com. 7-6 in favour of Sweden over Ireland as Deneen takes it forward. 4.5 left in this term. Takes it over the attacking quarter. Just plays it nicely and goes through for the try there. He scored plenty of points. Alan Deneen played a great pivotal role earlier in their clash against Denmark, which was the first game here at the Key Centre. As Sandberg just works his way nicely. You can see the clock counting down. 33 seconds left on that shot clock. Gives the ball away to Thomas Yak. Yak looks for support, tries to find Hildebrand. Hildebrand working nicely in a defensive pattern, tries to stop Deneen. Good hands there from Yak. Yak tries to get the ball away to Janssen, but can't. He's prevented from Deneen. Hildebrand tries to just protect the line. Good protection there. Deneen coming in, so the pressure applies for Sweden. Yat will now have possession and tries to get the ball away. Has to keep it alive. You can see him getting the ball away to Sandberg. And Sandberg just plays it in the corner. Has Janssen over the top. Janssen gets the try. Terrific stuff from the Swedes. And that was great hands and great positioning from the Swedes, wasn't it? You saw the goal there. And the try was a great one as Deneen takes it up nicely, straight up the middle. Sandberg works it nicely. McCarthy tries to work great in protection. And, of course, Will Doggett does beautifully in protection for Deneen, and Deneen gets the try. So we're all locked up at 8 apiece, 3.5 to go. Of course, it's the 25th anniversary of the International Wheelchair Rugby Federation. It was created back in 1993 as the governing body for the sport of wheelchair rugby. The IWRF would like to thank all the athletes, coaches, officials, volunteers and supporters. They do a wonderful job who have contributed to this fantastic sport, and they look forward to many more exciting years as Sandberg scores for Sweden. Many more years of growing and supporting this global wheelchair rugby family, and it certainly is a family. I've been involved with the sport for now 6 years, and there are some just absolutely stellar and wonderful people involved in this sport from on and off the court as Moylan takes the ball up for Ireland and will score that try. So we're all locked up at 9 apiece. 3 minutes to go before quarter time. Terrific game here today. Of course, we get underway tomorrow, which will be an exciting day. 10 o'clock we start on the live streams. Colombia and Poland. That'll be at the Netball Centre, which is next door and adjacent to this Key Centre Arena. And, of course, the first game here at the Key Centre Arena will be Great Britain, Canada. Canada looking for their first win, if you can believe it. They had a loss to Poland in the game before this one. And, of course, against France yesterday, they went down, which was a bit of a shock among the wheelchair rugby community as Thomas Yats gets the try there for Sweden. So they'll be looking for their first win. Great Britain, they performed pretty well. They lost to America today, or the USA today, but they won yesterday against Poland in that exciting game that I had the privilege of calling at the Netball Centre as Moylan takes the ball up to the line, just under 3 minutes to play in this term, and he gets the try there for the Irish. Great amount of support for the Irish. just on the left side of the centre here at the Key Centre. And the ball goes to Sandberg. Sandberg works around. Some challenging stuff there for Moylan. Hildebrand works beautifully in defence. Sandberg just goes up the line. Here comes Deneen on the flank. You can see him now on screen. And Sandberg gets the try there. Tobias Sandberg, one of the leading point scorers for Sweden in this competition so far after 2 days, 4 to go. It's been an exciting competition so far. We've seen 12 teams really put on some wonderful contests, a couple of upsets, but overall some quality wheelchair rugby that we've seen over the last 2 days, and we've still got, as I said, 4 days to go here at both the Key Centre and the Netball Centre as Moylan takes it up 11-10 in favour of the Swedes. But Moylan's wanting to get that margin back in square, tries to go at the line. You can see how close it is. He goes beautifully. Doggett does well, look close at the line. Moylan tries to thread the needle. Hildebrand can't get him. He was trapped beautifully there by Moylan. And the try comes for the Irish. So we're all square at 11. And it's tapped down from Hildebrand. Away to Sandberg. Can he get the ball? He can't. You can see it going out of bounds there. 2 minutes 12 on that game clock. So the ball will come back upfield. The referee has spotted something. And it'll be a possession for the Irish. So a good chance for them to get in front here. Moylan has possession, gives the ball away to Deneen. Deneen just tries to work his way around. Nicely worked around McCarthy. Great in protection. Getting Jansen out of the way. And Deneen goes through for a try. Terrific team goal for Ireland. Really building beautifully. And now they've got the lead 12-11. So the pressure goes back on Sweden. Hildebrand gives it inbound. Nicely there to the player in the 6 in Sandberg. Sandberg takes it up to the line. And he'll get the points on that occasion. So Sandberg just gets us all square again at 12 all. So interesting to see if Sweden can force a mistake here with Ireland in possession. McCarthy inbound. Moylan just plays the ball. Deneen plays a nice role defensively. Tries to get around Sandberg and does so. Deneen protected him beautifully. And Thomas Moylan, he was named by Gary Lowe, the court announcer, as the try-scoring machine. And, well, you can see why he's been given that nickname, because he is scoring points at will here for the Irish. Their first time in these Wheelchair Rugby World Championship, but I tell you what, they are really putting on a solid performance. They've had 2 losses, but they've been performing brilliantly at this level, and certainly performances that they'll be proud of. So let's hope at some point they can get a win, maybe today against Sweden, which will do wonders for their confidence. Sandberg works his way nicely. Just plays it at the line. They came very close to beating Denmark yesterday, Sweden. A fast finishing final term, but it was just 3 points the margin between the sides. Denmark just picking up the win. And, of course, Denmark had that win over Ireland earlier today. And Ireland went down to Japan. Japan were a different side yesterday. They're 4th in the world. They lost by 20 points, the Irish, but geez, they were really pushing their tail a lot of times, the Japanese. Team Japan, they're a very disciplined, strict side. They've won double gold, Japan, of course, at the national level. In the 2 finals, of course, here at Homebush. Last year it was at the Netball Centre. The year before, we saw a terrific contest between Team Japan and the New South Wales Gladiators, which pretty much makes up most of the Australian side. That was here at the Key Centre, that final. That was 2 years ago, and it went to double overtime, and it was a win to Team Japan. But the Gladiators almost had them on that occasion, and it was Japan winning against Canada. But we're back to live action now. 13-14, Ireland lead now, and we're inside the final minute of this first term. John O'Farr, your caller for this game, the last game on day 2 here at the Key Centre. Works it nicely. Just plays it beautifully there, Sandberg. Great protection from Hildebrand. And Tobias Sandberg gets the points with 23 to go and ties us up at 14 apiece. So we may be going to overtime for this one. So possibly a little bit more work for all of us here. But Darryl Wingard and I always have a joke about overtime. As soon as it's mentioned, a game normally goes to that period pretty in quick succession, as you can see Stefan Jansen getting a tyre change there over on that far side. And Thomas Yatt and Deneen just having a battle on screen. Yatt in the 22, Deneen in the 12. So those 2 players have really been putting on a great contest for their respective sides. So we go back to live action. Inbound to Moylan. Moylan plays it at the line. Great work from McCarthy in defence. Plays it nicely, Moylan tries to go at Hildebrand, but threads the needle beautifully. Yak's trying his best to stop progression and does so, but McCarthy comes through and the troops are coming for the Irish. Now it goes to Thomas Moylan. Moylan works it away. You can see the clock counting down. 4 seconds to go. But it'll go through. So it'll come back to the corner. An inbound pass. It'll be the Irish that have it. Can they break the deadlock in this 4-second period? Ball goes inbound nicely there to Moylan. Moylan from McCarthy. Clock counting down. Moylan will hold on to it. So what an exciting quarter we've seen here in this clash between Ireland and Sweden. We're all locked up, ladies and gentlemen. It's 14 apiece. It's quarter time. We'll take a break. And on the other side, all the action of the second term.
See, feel, climb. First out, last in. Look round corners, look in crannies. Go down dark alleys, lose yourself. Catch a lift, break new ground. Turn things inside out. Go walkabout, get set. Go after the goosebumps. Never stop discovering.
It's your lucky day because this Friday, August 10, at the 2018 World Championship, the IWRF will auction off a Vesco competition wheelchair valued at almost $9,000. Auction proceeds will go to support the IWRF Hall of Fame. Sponsored by Vesco Metalcraft. Sign up in advance to participate. For more information, visit IWRF.com. The International Wheelchair Rugby Federation doing wonderful things. This year, of course, marks the 25th anniversary of the International Wheelchair Rugby Federation, created in 1993 as the governing body for the sport of wheelchair rugby. The IWRF would like to thank all the athletes, coaches, officials, volunteers and supporters who have contributed to this great sport, and they look forward to many more years growing and supporting the global wheelchair rugby family.
On day 2 of the 2018 GIO IWRF Wheelchair Rugby World Championship. Got a terrific game in progress here between Ireland and Sweden. You can see there on your screens, 14 apiece between these two sides. One of these sides looking for their first win in this tournament. Of course, Ireland had that loss to Japan. And as Sweden get the points on that occasion. That was yesterday against Japan, and Denmark, they inflicted another loss to the Irish. And of course, yesterday, Denmark beat Sweden. Australia beat Sweden. So they're looking for another win. Certainly not for another loss. So 7.5 to go in this second term. 15-14 in favour of Sweden. John O'Farr in commentary. Hope you've been enjoying the action on the live streams on our website, 2018WRWC.com. Spread the word. Get involved. Tell your friends to come out here and join us at the Key Centre or the Netball Centre. Your ticket will allow you entry to both venues. You're more than welcome to come and join us for the next 4 exciting days of wheelchair rugby action as the points come the way there for Sweden. And they lead it by 2 points now as Thomas Moylan takes it up court. We certainly hope you've been enjoying the coverage on the live streams. A great array of commentators have been bringing you some action. Gary Pate joined me earlier this morning. Bevan Jenkinson has been doing some great things over on the Netball Centre, and of course here at Key Centre. And Molly Gray, a rugby player for Australia, female rugby player for Australia. The Wallaroos, part of that squad. She'll be joining us here tomorrow for all the action. I'm looking forward to calling with Molly. She's done some great work so far, both on the field for Australian rugby, and was terrific yesterday working with Bevan Jenkinson. So it'll be great to have her up in the broadcast. And the ball will be inbound. So 16-15 the score to Sweden over Ireland. Nice pass inbound. Goes over the top. Goes away to Moylan. Moylan just plays it at the line. Takes it up left and right. Goes across to the line. And Moylan will get the try there for Ireland. Steve Loader, of course, joined me in commentary with the Australia-Sweden game. Did a terrific job. Great commentator, Steve. Started as a commentator a couple of years ago, and of course he's a board member with Disability Sports Australia. A great member of the wheelchair rugby family. And Thomas Yatt gets the points on that occasion for Sweden. So just starting to bring that margin back a little, 17-16. So now Ireland will be looking at trying to get some points back here. Moylan will work it nicely. McCarthy just on the left-hand fringe there, trying to work in some defensive work. He'll go hard at that defensive line, as you can see there. Moylan trying to work the line. Deneen just holding his line there. Great pass away there from Moylan. Moylan just trying to hold up the pass. Needs to pop it away. Gives it to McCarthy. McCarthy now back to Deneen. Deneen and McCarthy working well. Deneen, beautiful work. Slugging hard at the line. No goal. So the penalty was blown just before he got there. Looks as though one of the Polish players went over the line. 17-16. So we'll take a brief little timeout break here. You can see the Swedes going to their bench. And there, of course, is Will Doggett for the Irish on screen at the moment. He's making his way to the bench for the Irish, which you can see now on your screen. Thomas Moylan and Deneen. And McCarthy, the captain, having a bit of a board meeting on the sideline. So as you can see, 17-16 in favour of Sweden over Ireland. 6 minutes to go in this particular half or second quarter, whichever you prefer. Now, are you in the market for a new wheelchair rugby chair? Well, this Friday, August 10, which is just a couple of days away, at the 2018 World Championship, IWRF, they'll auction off a Vesco competition wheelchair. It's valued at almost $9,000. Auction proceeds will go to support the IWRF Hall of Fame, which is a terrific cause. And, of course, big thanks to Vesco Metalcraft, who are proudly sponsoring this. Sign up in advance to participate. For more information, head online, IWRF.com. And big thanks to Vesco Metalcraft for all their sponsorship. So, as I've mentioned that, the score has changed slightly. 18-16 now for Sweden. They lead by 2 over Ireland. 5:50 to go before the main break at half-time. Tickets, of course, still available for the remaining days of the Wheelchair Rugby Championship. You can head online, 2018wrwc.com. Get involved, get some tickets, join us out here as Thomas Yatt gets back on 2 wheels. Be great to have you out here at either the Key Centre or the Netball Centre. Your ticket will allow you to either venue, I should say. So whichever you prefer, you can go back and forth or stay in one. It's completely up to you. The ticket will allow entry to both venues as Deneen takes it forward for Ireland. Now just battling, try and get there closer into the line. You can see Moylan just looking for some support. McCarthy's working nicely in the fringe. And now Moylan and McCarthy will hit the line. Bang, straight into Thomas Yatt goes Moylan. And Deneen goes through for the try. Great little protection on that right-hand flank there as Moylan went through. For that point, McCarthy did particularly well in a defensive role, just tried to work his way through that line as Hildebrand gives the ball back in field nicely to Sandberg. Sandberg will play it at the line. Just goes hard and pushes his way through. Nice little push there. A bump nicely into Moylan. Swings around, threads the needle between Moylan and Deneen, and Sandberg gets the try for Sweden. So the margin's starting to just get away a bit from Ireland, 19-17. Probably the biggest for the most part of this game. Good work for Ireland. McCarthy inbounds it nicely to Moylan. Moylan works it back to Deneen. Deneen just tries to get himself in some space. Gives it across field nicely to Moylan. Moylan reaches out and grabs it. And the Irish, they bounce back with a goal. So the margin back to 1. Just over 5 to play, as you can see on the bottom of your screen. Great pictures here from our broadcast partner, Be Live. Great to have them involved in all the action. Be Live streaming. So they have done a terrific job over the last 2 days with all the coverage, as Sandberg now will inbound it on this particular section. 19-18 in favour of Sweden. Gets the ball to Thomas Yatt. Yatt works the line hard, gives the ball across court. Nicely worked to Sandberg. Sandberg takes on the line. Very easy. He's just slowing down the clock. 30 seconds left on that shot clock. Be interesting to see how long he takes. He just takes a couple of more seconds and goes over for that try. So under 5 to play in this second term on the final game of day 2 as Deneen takes it to the line. Just works himself nicely. Good work there from Doggett just in front of him, you can see. Just taking at the line. Great work from Deneen, trying to go hard at the line. Goes straight into Hildebrand and Sandberg. Tries to work his way around. Deneen, great battle for the ball. Gets possession, trying to get it away to Moylan. Moylan can't go it. He might have called a timeout, or was he calling a hand on the ball? He's calling a hand on the ball, the player. And the referee will come in and just have a discussion with Alan Deneen. They'll break them up. So the timeout was called. So it was a timeout. I thought he might have been just gesturing a hand on the ball in that occasion. So the Irish will just have a break there. Exciting games, of course, tomorrow. Day number 3 of the 2018 IWRF GIO Wheelchair Rugby World Championship here in Sydney, Australia. We begin with Colombia and Poland. That'll be a terrific game. Colombia looking for a win. Poland, they had a win earlier today. That'll be in the Netball Centre, that first game. That kicks off at 10 o'clock. Then 11 o'clock, the first game here. That should be a fun game. I'll be on the commentary team for that one. Great Britain and Canada at the Key Centre. And Molly Gray will be joining me in commentary for that one as Moylan goes through. And it looks as though she's made that particular call on the case. So the score will remain at 20-18. So 4.5 to go before half time. It's wonderful to have the support of IWRF. They're in their 25th year. And it gives it away to Janssen. And Janssen will take it up there for Sweden. Stefan Janssen gets the try. He's first in a little while, but certainly a key pivotal player. Some great sponsors involved in wheelchair rugby, all thanks to our naming rights sponsor GIO. Major sponsors in City and Land Rover. Of course, Disability Sports Australia do some wonderful work in support. The government, they help in a huge way. The Australian government, the state government of New South Wales and Sydney.com. Thanks to their help. Supporters, the Australian Defence Force, the Navy, Rugby AU and Wheelchair Sports New South Wales. They are doing some great stuff. So now the play will be from Moylan. Moylan will take it at the line and give the ball away to Deneen, and Deneen will take the try. So the points come there for Ireland. And now Sweden on the line. Tries to push away there nicely. Great work there from Sandberg. Sandberg just plays at the line, pushes it away. Ball goes out of bounds and the penalty has been blown. So the margin just 2 points now, 21-19 in favour of Sweden. Ireland, of course, in their first tournament. So it's great to have the Irish here. They're, of course, looking for their first win as well as Sweden. They were unlucky against Japan yesterday. They sort of lost by 20 points. So you could probably say, if you just looked at the scoreline, that was the way it was expected to go. But Ireland really fought in that game. You can go online, 2018 WRWC.com, and check out all the action of that one. You can see all the replays of all the games that you may have missed that have been played, and, of course, all the live action. But they really played some really strong wheelchair rugby and did their fans an enormous pride there. And, of course, they played earlier against Denmark, and they unfortunately lost again, the Irish. But, geez, they were working so well. Had the great privilege of working and calling that game with Gary Pate. Gary, of course, worked at the 2016 Rio Olympics, calling for the NBC network. Goes across nicely to Sandberg, and Thomas Yatt plays the line. So it was a great privilege to have Gary in the broadcast box for that game earlier today. I've got him from memory. I think it was the first one here, certainly at the Key Centre for day 2. And then, of course, Australia-Sweden after that, which was a wonderful victory to the Australian Steelers. They went back-to-back victories after their victory over New Zealand on day 1 at this venue here at the Key Centre, as Moylan gets the try there for the Irish. 22-20 You can see the scoreline there, the bottom of your screen, and Sweden just starting to get away, but Ireland are starting to come at them. Sandberg works it nicely from Hildebrand. Sandberg, as you can see on the screen, just working his way inside that attacking half. Just pumps his line, tries to get inside that attacking key, as you can see, and goes for the try. So 23-20. Now, are you in the market for a new wheelchair rugby chair? Well, this Friday, August 10, just a couple of days away, at the 2018 World Championship here in Homebush, as Moylan takes it forward, the IWRF will auction off a Vesco competition wheelchair. It's valued at almost $9,000. Auction proceeds will go to support the IWRF Hall of Fame. It's sponsored by Vesco Metalcraft, a wonderful company. Sign up in advance to participate. For more information, visit this website, IWRF.com, for all your information. So that should be a fantastic auction come this Friday, and a big thank you to Vesco Metalcraft for their involvement in that, and of course the IWRF, as Sweden take it to the line, and Thomas Yatt will get the try on that occasion. 24-21 in favour of Sweden. 2:43 left in this first half, as Moylan will take it at the line. He'll just work his way nicely through the key. Goes inside that attacking half. You can see Danina McCarthy in front of him. McCarthy just on his right. Pushes it nicely. Moylan threads the needle past Sandberg. He tried his best to get possession of the ball, but couldn't get it away. And Moylan getting the try on that occasion. Hildebrand will inbound it to Sandberg. Sandberg works it. 24-22 in favour of Sweden. Terrific game here at Key Centre underway. Midway through the second period as it goes to Thomas Yatt. And Yatt will get the try on that occasion. So the margin now goes back to 3 points, just over 2 to play. McCarthy will inbound, finds Moylan. Moylan on the attack now. He works his way nicely up mid-court. Tries to get possession away. Moylan just takes it at the line. Very simple goal for the Irish side. Looking for win number 1 of the tournament after 2 days. It'd be great to see one of these teams. Obviously, one of them will get a win because they've had 3 losses for Sweden and 2 for the Irish. Sweden, of course, really tested Denmark yesterday. Thought they were going to get them in that final term, but they couldn't get the biscuits as Janssen. Clever little tap across, and Thomas Yatt gets the try on that occasion. And, of course, Sweden were really challenged by the Australians earlier in the piece at the Netball Centre. That was Game 2 on the calendar today, or the schedule today. They were challenged by Australia. Australia really in control, but it was a different-looking Australian side. You can go online, 2018 WRWC.com, and you'll be able to see a replay of that game. It was a terrific game. I had the privilege of calling it with Steve Loader, a board member for wheelchair sports in this country. And he did a superb job in commentary as Alan Dineen goes over for some more points there. The margin goes back to 2, and we're about 90 seconds away from that halftime break, which is the main break. It's great to have GIO involved as a sponsor. City, Land Rover, support from the government as well, in the Australian government, state government, New South Wales, and Sydney.com. Moulton is the proud supporters of the ball that you can see in the referee's hands there. That is the IWRF official ball of this tournament in 2018, as Hildebrand now has possession of the ball. Tries to get the ball inbound to Sandberg and does particularly well. Gets it away from Moylan. Moylan now trying to battle his way through, but Hildebrand works hard there. Sandberg goes at the line. Inside 90 seconds before halftime. Sandberg passes beautiful. Good hands, Janssen. Janssen will work it close at the line, and he'll get the try for the Swedes. So now that margin goes back to 3 points, 27-24, just over a minute to play before half-time. Dineen gets it across. The Irish need some points to get themselves back in it, and it'll come the way of Moylan. He'll slow down the shot clock. 30 seconds left, 27 seconds left now. Moves across to the line and gets the try for the Irish. So just over a minute to play before half-time. Some other great games to keep an eye on. Australia will take on Denmark. They'll be looking for their 3rd victory, the Australians. Denmark looking for win number 2. That'll be at the Key Centre. That'll be from 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. And before that, at the Netball Centre, France and the US. France went down yesterday in, some say, a bit of a boil-over. So it was interesting to see that. And the try there is scored by the number player, Sandberg. Sandberg will take it forward, and he gets the try. 28-25 in favour of the Swedes, just under a minute to play. Now they'll play it at the line. So that game that France played yesterday was Colombia and France. So France picking up the win there. And it was a bit of a shock that it went that close against Colombia. Colombia, a pretty talented side, but the French side, they just they played a different brand of football from what I saw on the replay. They're 7th, Colombia are 10th. So it was a terrific game there. Works away nicely. At the line there is Sandberg. Sandberg pops the pass over the top, gives it away to Thomas Yatt. And Yatt will hold at the line. Gives the ball back inside to Sandberg. Sandberg just holds it there nicely. Works it closely to the line. And goes over there to gets the points. So he'll get the try there on that occasion. The play inbound. We're inside the last 5 seconds of that particular game. And that is the halftime siren. So a terrific half of wheelchair rugby comes to an end on this particular occasion. What a great half of wheelchair rugby as we take a look at this replay before we go to the main break. Thomas Moylan just taking hard at the line. Smack straight hard into Hildebrand. And the Swedes, they will get a nice, well-earned break. So they lead it at the main break, 29-26 in favour of Sweden. Stay with us. We've got an exciting second half coming up between this clash. And it's the Swedes and the Irish. And we'll take a break and be back with all the action of the second half.
See, feel, climb. First out, last in. Look round corners, look in crannies. Go down dark alleys, lose yourself. Catch a lift, break new ground. Turn things inside out. Go walkabout, get set. Go after the goosebumps. Never stop discovering.
To field a mix of players with different classification point values. Wheelchair rugby is rather unique, where males and females compete on the same teams, on the same court at the same time. And for each female athlete on the court, a team is permitted an additional 0.5 points. So this is the last game in Day 2 of the World Championship, but of course, play continues tomorrow. Ireland will be taking on New Zealand. That'll be at 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. That'll be the netball centre adjacent to this venue. Sweden will be taking on Japan at 4 p.m. That'll be here in the Key Centre. Of course, we hope you are enjoying the week here at the Wheelchair Rugby World Championship. This would not be made possible, of course, without the wonderful work of the International Wheelchair Rugby Federation and GIO, the naming rights sponsor. Major sponsors Citibank and Land Rover. Our good supporters, the Australian Defence Force, the Royal Australian Navy, Rugby Australia and Wheelchair Sports New South Wales. And of course, our government supporters, the Australian Government, the New New South Wales Government at Sydney.com. Good to see people supporting the government. It's lovely. Of course, His Excellency, the Governor-General, Sir Peter Cosgrove, was here on day one to witness Australia versus New Zealand, and as was Premier Gladys Berejiklian, the New South Wales Premier. Don't forget, you can catch all the live streaming for these matches if you'd like to re-watch all the action. And that's brought to you by our wonderful broadcast partners at BeLive. They do an excellent job, and we thank them for their efforts.
And welcome back to the Key Centre for the final game on day 2 of the GIO 2018 IWRF Wheelchair Rugby World Championship. John O'Farr in commentary this afternoon and this evening into this evening game between Sweden and Ireland. Great half if you've just missed it. It was Sweden really dominating in the early stanza, but the Irish, they came back hard. The scores were locked up for a little period when the scores were in the teens, but as you can see, Sweden have just got away a little bit there now, 30-26. So the margin 4 points in favour of the Swedes. 7:42 to go before three-quarter time as Moylan now takes up possession for Ireland. They need to start forcing some mistakes and get possession back in the way of the Irish to try and just narrow that gap in terms of the margin, as Hildebrand now will play it at the line on that try line. Try and look for an inbound pass. We'll find Sandberg nicely. Works at the key. Just try to push around 1 and 2, which is Moylan. Hildebrand works well in coverage. Yak down the line. Deneen tries to give the bump and shove. But the try will come there for Thomas Yet. And the try comes for Sweden. Of course, it's the 25th anniversary of the International Wheelchair Rugby Federation. It was created back in 1993 as the governing body for the sport of wheelchair rugby. The sport of wheelchair rugby started in Canada 20 years earlier in 1973. The IWRF would love to thank all the athletes, the coaches, the officials, the volunteers and supporters who do a wonderful job. And they've all contributed to this great support over the many years. And they look forward to many more years of growing and supporting the global wheelchair rugby family. And they do a terrific job. All the people involved with Disability Sports Australia, of course, Wheelchair Sports New South Wales and the IWRF. They've done some wonderful stuff. We've got some terrific volunteers that work very hard, very tirelessly. It's a thankless task, but they do such a great job, and they work so hard right across the 6 days of this tournament and all the other tournaments that have been on right around the world and in this country. And they do some terrific jobs, all the stuff that sometimes you see, sometimes you don't see, but they're very, very, very vitally important, the volunteers, and they do a wonderful job at this tournament. And, of course, all the live streaming pictures are coming through BeLive Streaming, our broadcast partner. So wonderful to have them on board for these 6 days of the tournament as the push is away to Johansson. Janssen just tries to get the ball away, but Moylan now plays at the ball. And now Ireland starting to build. They're trying to get that margin back to 2. And Thomas Yat just knocks the ball out of his hand. Bit of a battle there going on with Deneen. It's just off screen at the moment. He's just coming on that right of the screen, but he's having a good battle there with Janssen. You get the wider shot there, and it's Moylan that now tries to have an opportunity for some more points. So it was knocked out by Thomas Yet, but now Moylan will try and work it hard at the line. Just plays it close to that try line over on that right side. Now tries to swing it back to the left. Great work there from McCarthy. Provided the block. Hildebrand, he sold the dummy beautifully, McCarthy. Hildebrand fell for it. And the gap, you could see, was enormous there for Moylan and the Irish as Yat takes the ball on field. Gives a nice little pass across to Sandberg. And Tobias Sandberg will just slow down the clock. 26 seconds left on that shot clock. 6:06 left on that game clock, and Sandberg gets the points. So just brings the margin back to 3 now between these two sides. Nice quick pass there from Deneen. Moylan will strike back quick here, you would think. Goes straight over for the try. So another for his tally. And now again, the margin back to 2. We're under 6 minutes to play in this third term. 1 more quarter to go. Of course, if you've never seen the game is played over 4 8-minute quarters. We're now in the third period. If you're just joining us, Sweden, they led early doors, but then the Irish came back. They squared the ledger. It was that way when the scores were in the teens, but now once it gets into the 30s, it's starting to get away now, and the margin now is 3 points as Thomas Yett gets the try for the Irish. And 5:48 is left on this game clock. McCarthy inbound the captain to Moylan. Geez, Thomas Moylan, hasn't he played well over the last couple of days for the Irish? Terrific player with a very bright future. I was chatting to Gary Pate earlier in the day. He's a part of Team USA and the coaching staff, and he was speaking very highly about Thomas Moylan, who gets the pass away, and that's why he was giving him a rap, because the pass to Deneen was a brilliant one. Oh, that's great stuff from the Irish, really piling on the pressure. Have a look at this on the replay. Great work from Moylan, didn't panic. Have a look at that. He says, where am I going to get the pass? Deneen says, give it in, champ. I'll go for a try. Oh, that's terrific stuff for the Irish. Now the play inbound for Sweden. Gives it away to Thomas. Yet draws the player inbound and gives it away to Janssen. Janssen now just holds up. Soaks up some time on that shot clock and gets the points for the Swedes. 34-31 in favour of Sweden. And we'll get a timeout. You can see both sides just going to their respective benches. Irish to the left of screen. They're on screen now. Sweden to the right of where Ireland are right now. And if you're in the market for a new wheelchair rugby chair, well, this Friday, August 10, at the 2018 World Championship, IWRF, they'll be auctioning off a Vesco competition wheelchair, which is valued at almost $9,000. The auction proceeds will go to support the IWRF Hall of Fame. That's sponsored by Vesco Metalcraft. You can sign up in advance to participate, and I encourage you to do so. For more information, visit IWRF.com. So a wonderful cause, the IWRF. If you can, please dig deep and give to this wonderful cause and wonderful sport of wheelchair rugby. Of course, we're here for 4 more days after today. Finals day or gold medal day will be on Friday. Those games will be played here, the bronze game and the gold medal game. They'll be played here at the Key Centre. The Netball Centre will wrap on Thursday. That'll be the last day for events there. As Moylan takes it at the line, just finds some gap over on that far side, and he gets the try there for the Irish. Works his way nicely. You can go online, 2018WRWC.com. Head online. You'll be able to find out all the ticketing, the scheduling, the transport information, all the event information that you need. And you'll be able to see the schedules, where the games are, when they're on, when they start, who will be playing, all that sort of information. Tickets, they start for the remaining pool days, which is obviously Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Sandberg works it for the Swedes. Tickets for those days, $20 for adults, a great price, $10 for concession. A family pass will cost you $50 for those pool days. And then Friday or finals day, price goes up a little bit, but you can expect that because obviously the premium games will bring that premium price, $35 for adults. Concession is $20 and the family $90. So still very, very reasonable prices. 2018WRWC.com. Head online. You'll be able to find out all the information there. And there are still event passes on offer. Prices for those vary. $75 for adults, concession $40, and the family pass $190. But obviously because we're 2 days into the tournament, I would suggest that those prices will slightly be adjusted. But still some great value if you want to come for a day or the remaining 4 days right up until finals day, which of course will be Friday. And we're very much looking forward to that at the Wheelchair Rugby Championship, all thanks to GIO, as Sandberg works his way through for some Possession, trying to get the ball across. Hildebrand protected nicely. Janssen now just takes the key inside to Thomas Yet. Yet will take on the line. Moylan comes across, provides good coverage. Yet has some space. Hildebrand needs to get himself a little bit more across the right. Goes away to Yet. Yet now still with possession. Hildebrand providing protection. Goes hard at the line. Tries to get the line there, but Deneen says, no, you're not getting it on my watch. And the referee will step in and give his ruling, as you can see on screen there. 34-32 in favour of Sweden over Ireland. 3:50 to go in this third term. And the pass will be inbound to Ireland. So the try has been scored there. 35-32. The margin back to 3. Moylan now with possession. The referee steps in. There'll be a slight break in play, as you can see there. Players just milling for positions around the ball. The Moulton official ball. That's the official IWRF ball of the 2018 Championships, all thanks to GIO. Great to have Moulton on as a proud sponsor. Deneen fires it down to Moylan. Moylan's at half court. Just works his way inside that attacking key. Takes his time with possession. 3.5 to go before three-quarter time. Should be an exciting final term with the scores so close, as you can see. 2 points the margin. If it's 2 points leading into that final term, you watch for the Irish to really step up. They can finish fast. They did it against Japan. They didn't win that game, but, geez, they really finished hard and strong. And if they can do that again here today against Sweden, then they may pick up their first victory of the tournament. Sweden looking for win number 1 of their third game. Nicely played away there. Losses to Denmark and Australia. Denmark yesterday, Australia earlier today. And the Irish, they are looking for their first win of the tournament. Denmark they lost to earlier. And Japan, they lost to yesterday. So Deneen works his way nicely, just trying to get out of the defensive key. But Thomas Yat's not letting him get anywhere. Referee steps in. And a timeout has been called. So 36-33 in favour of Sweden over Ireland. 2:55 to go in this particular third term. So it's great to have all the support of all our wonderful sponsors, GIO, the great support of the Australian government's City, Land Rover, of course. Land Rover, a new sponsor to Wheelchair Rugby, but they are one of the first to sponsor World Rugby and the World Wheelchair Rugby, Land Rover. So terrific to have their support. City, great bank, great support from them. They're new or newish into the City R and to the wheelchair family as Moylan takes it forward. Gets the points there for Ireland. And take it at the line nicely and get the try. So it brings back the margin to 2 points, 36-34 in favour of Sweden over Ireland. 2:45, as you can see, left in this third term. John O'Farr, your caller in commentary this afternoon. Great to have your company here. Hope you're enjoying the action between Sweden and Ireland and, of course, all the action you may have seen over the last couple of days. 42 games over 6 days. It's a terrific tournament. Thomas Yet just plays the defensive role as Moylan tries to get it out of that defensive line. Charges up the middle. Great work from Hildebrand to try and get the ball off Moylan, but Moylan just too quick. And the Irish, they gallop away for another point. So another try. 37-35 with 2:24 to go, as you can see, left on that clock. Now they're trying to get themselves back into this contest, the Irish, trying to force the mistake. Sandberg works it to the line, gives the ball nicely to Janssen. Janssen gives it to Yet. Yet tries to play at the line, bump and grind into Deneen. Deneen works his way hard at the line, gives it nicely to the Swedes. Great work from Thomas Yet. Passes inbound to Sandberg. Terrific stuff from the Swedes. And they get the points on that particular occasion. 38-35 in favour of Sweden. 2 minutes to go before 3/4 time. Wonderful day here at the Wheelchair Rugby World Championship. Great to have the partnership of all our sponsors. Molten is the official ball of these championships. You can see it in the chair of Thomas Moylan. The green and white ball. Takes it the line. Bit appropriate for the Irish. They're in white and green, and the ball is white and green. So a little bit of colour coordination there between Moulton and the Irish side. Of course, it's all luck, as McCarthy will now inbound for the Irish. Just under 2 minutes to play before 3/4 time. 38-35 in favour of Ireland. Now it's played inbound. Referee, you can see, just getting the ball. So, of course, the last game today on day 2 of the GIO Wheelchair Rugby Championship. It's the first time that these two sides have ever played in competition history. They're yet to compete at a Paralympic level as well. Australia, they're the defending world champions at the Paralympic level, picking up the gold in the double overtime classic back in 2016 in Rio de Janeiro. It was a tight, tense tussle between Australia and the US, but they managed to pick up the gold, led by their captain, Riley Batt. And now Thomas Moylan will work it hard at the line, tries to work it nicely. Great work from Dineen there. Janssen trying his best to just get the ball back for Sweden. Look at Sandberg work it hard at trying to get the ball there. Beautiful work from Moylan. Tries to come at the line, but the penalty is given. And Moylan will be forced to give the ball back. 38-35 in favour of Sweden. Sandberg fires the pass. Can he find Janssen? He can. Great hands close to the line. Soaks up a little bit of time. Cleverly did that close to the try line, as you could see. And he gets the try on that occasion. So 1:28 left in this third term. One more to go before full time. And full time we call on day 2 as Thomas Moylan just plays at the line. Holds up the pass nicely. Gives it away, Dineen. Great protection there. Got a bit of a bump from Janssen as he came through. Referee has stepped in. So McCarthy will spend some time in the bin. He'll be off the court, and then the Irish, they're down to 3. In Dineen, Doggett, and Moylan. So that's the lineup there as McCarthy, the captain, will inbound. He's back on court now. Plays it there to Moylan. Back to 4 players now. Just works the play nicely. And Moylan will try and work his way through. Has Dineen just on his left-hand side there, you can see on the bottom of your screen. But Moylan will work it nicely, and the try is there. 39-36 now in favour of Sweden. But here come Ireland. They're playing beautifully here. The day started, of course, Japan and New Zealand. That was a wonderful clash at the Netball Centre. Then Denmark and Ireland. That was a great game here at Key Centre. Had the privilege of calling that one with Gary Pate from the NBC network in America. He's a part of the Team USA lineup and part of their coaching staff. They had a win later in the day over Great Britain. Australia and Sweden, that was a wonderful game at the Netball Centre. Had the great privilege of calling that one with Steve Loader. The Australians simply too good, 71-38 in favour of Australia over Sweden. Colombia and France, great game at 3:30. That was at the Netball Centre. Bevan Jenkinson called that one, did a great job calling that particular game. Watched that game on the live stream. And then, of course, Poland and Canada. That was at the Key Centre. And that was a win to Poland. So Canada just getting their second loss of the tournament. Of course, they lost to France yesterday, which a lot of people expected Canada to beat. So that's back-to-back losses to France yesterday and to Poland today. So some work to do for the Canadians as we enter day 3, or about to enter day 3 of the championship. Denmark and New Zealand, that was a great game at the Netball Centre. Again, Bevan Jenkinson calling all the action. He would have enjoyed that being a Kiwi, Bev. And it would have been interesting to see how that one would have gone. I wasn't sure of the result because I was preparing for this one between Sweden and Ireland. And we are at three-quarter time, so some action taking place as I was speaking there and giving some results. 40-36, we're at three-quarter time. We'll take a break, our final one for this game. On the other side, be back with all the action of the final term in the Sweden-Ireland clash.
See, feel, climb. First out, last in. Look round corners, look in crannies. Go down dark alleys, lose yourself. Catch a lift, break new ground. Turn things inside out. Go walkabout, get set. Go after the goosebumps. Never stop discovering.
Dalton, Michael O'Hanlon, and Stephen Nalima.
And we're underway here in this final term between Sweden and Ireland. Great contest here at the Key Centre on day 2 of the 2018 IWRF Wheelchair Rugby World Championship. You can see Thomas Yett scoring the try there for the Swedes. This is where the intensity really lifts. If you've never seen this sport, they sort of pace themselves for the first half. Third term, it picks up a little bit depending on the score. But this is really where you see the intensity really lift tenfold, especially when you've got a scoreline as close as this. 4 points to margin. Sweden, they're really starting to come at the Irish now. You can see them wanting their win. Of course, looking in their 4th game of this tournament. They had a loss to Denmark. They had a loss to Australia. And, of course, this is their 3rd game, I should say. So 2 losses to Denmark and Australia as the Irish score through Thomas Moylan. And now going into their 3rd game. So they'll be definitely looking for a win. Of course, Ireland yesterday against Japan, they were great early doors in that competition, but just sort of took their foot off the pedal a little bit and allowed Japan to dominate them a little bit. And you can't allow Japan to do that because they're just so clinical. As the try there goes to Sweden, and Sandberg gets the points. And, of course, earlier in the day against Denmark, they went down in that contest. That was a closer contest for Ireland, but looking for a win here. So coming up the line, both teams in their 3rd game on day 2. Deneen working it beautifully, just trying to work it there through Hildebrand. Works it nicely through Jansen, and Jansen can't stop the force that is Alan Deneen. And he'll score the try on that particular occasion. So the margin 4 as Hildebrand gets it into Sandberg. Sandberg works it nicely. Just pivots his way around Deneen. Sandberg now going down that right flank. Pops the pass over the head of Moylan. Finds Thomas Yett. Yett now works at the line. Great protection from Jansen. And the try is there for Sweden. So terrific stuff from the Swedes. Really starting to build on their lead now. 5 points the margin. But here comes Thomas Moylan. 7 minutes left to go in this game. Moylan will slow it down here a little bit. Be interesting to see if he slows up the clock. He won't. He'll go through. As you can see, 29 seconds were left on that shot clock. So he didn't waste any time because the Irish really need to get themselves back in this game. You can see the margin there is 4 points. And we're just under 7 to play before full time here on day 2 of the 2018 IWRF GIO Wheelchair Rugby World Championship. We hope you've been enjoying the action, whether it's out here at the Key Centre or the Netball Centre, or maybe you might have spent the last 2 days watching it on the live stream. Whatever you've done, we thank you for your attendance and your company, however you've seen the championship. If you haven't come out, please join us. You're always welcome. Your ticket will be able to get you into the Key Centre here or the Netball Centre as Sandberg scores for Sweden on that particular occasion. And here comes Moylan for the Irish. He'll just take it at the line and go for that try. Head online, 2018WRWC.com. You'll be able to find all your ticket information. Tickets are pretty reasonably priced for the remaining 4 days. You'll be able to find family tickets, adult tickets, concession passes, some great prices there for the remaining days, the last 4 days of this competition. Price picks up a little bit on that finals day, but you can expect that being a premium day. But Sandberg will play it now for Sweden. But yeah, please join us if you've never seen the sport live. Come out and see it. Maybe bring your iPad out and watch the coverage as well. Then you'll get the commentary. Might learn one or two things about this wonderful game that is wheelchair rugby. As the play is taken there to Thomas Yatt. Thomas Yatt will play it at the line. And they will play it just there. So the ball comes back into Moylan. Moylan just takes it at the line, plays it hard, goes there, 45-40. Scoreline favours the Swedes. And it goes to Thomas Moylan. Moylan will take the line there. So the score there between Denmark and New Zealand. Well, what a thrilling game. 55-54. So Denmark pick up another win. They picked up a win earlier in the day here against Ireland, and they've beaten the Kiwis. Bevan Jenkinson, he'll be filthy for weeks. He's a Kiwi. He loves them. Oh, unbelievable. Really thought the Kiwis might have got home there. They might have. It sounds like a close game. If you want to catch all the action of that one, I missed it myself, so I'm going to log on to 2018WRWC.com and see all the action of the games that you've missed, and, of course, the live stream. So you'll be able to catch all the action of that one between Denmark and the Kiwis. And Bevan Jenkinson, he did a superb job from all I'm hearing reports as commentary. It'll be great to have him here at the Key Centre tomorrow and for the remaining games of the tournament. He'll join me in the afternoon. Molly Gray, the Wallabies player for the female side, the Wallaroos. She'll be joining me in commentary tomorrow morning. So it'll be great to have Molly Gray in the commentary box. She did a superb job. Saw bits and pieces of the USA-Colombia game yesterday, and she did a great job alongside Bevan Jenkinson. So they called the game yesterday. So Bev will join me in the broadcast box tomorrow. But, yeah, he'll be disappointed with that. Denmark 55, New Zealand 54. Sounds like a terrific game. Close one. Probably the closest one of the tournament, I'd have to say, in terms of the score lines. But that would have been a terrific game at the Netball Centre. New Zealand, of course, they started proceedings today. They played Japan. That was at the Netball Centre. And I saw the opening period of that game before I had to come across here for Denmark-Ireland for the Key Centre game. But that was a wonderful game. The New Zealanders, such a great side. They've played for bronze a couple of times at that national level, and they've had individual championship wins at home and domestic competitions. Some terrific players in that Kiwi side. And I'm looking forward to calling them a little bit later in the tournament. Let's hope that they can go deep into the week and possibly play off for a medal. But, yeah, a bit shocked about that. I thought the Kiwis would have got the win there. But Denmark picking up another win for the tournament. They, of course, beat Ireland this morning. Earlier, that was the first game here at the Key Centre, which kicked off at 11 o'clock. But Denmark 55-54 over the Kiwis. Terrific game. And as I said, head online if you've missed it. Like myself, I didn't see it. 2018 WRWC. I'll be certainly heading online, WRWC.com. 2018 WRWC.com. Head online and you'll be able to see all the live action of that contest as Moylan takes it up to the line and he plays it and gets the try there for Ireland. So 47-43 the margin, 2-4, and we're just over 4 to play. As now Hildebrand plays the ball into Sandberg. Sandberg works his way nicely. Fires the ball across court. Tries to find his man down there. And Thomas yet worked beautifully around McCarthy. What a battle for the ball between Moylan. Thomas yet takes a spill. Moylan came in hard. And Thomas Yett, as you can see, going to ground. Plays the ball across court, tries to find his man down there, and Thomas Yett work. Have a look at this replay here. Great work from Thomas Yett. The ball between Moylan. Thomas Yett takes a spill. Moylan. Of course, Sweden, they are 6th in the ratings and the rankings. And Ireland, of course, in that 12th position. So, interesting contest here. It currently stands at 47-43 in favour of Sweden. Of course, the Wheelchair Rugby World Championships started back in 1995 in Switzerland. The US were the successful winners of that tournament. Canada was second, New Zealand were third. And the last tournament was in Denmark. Australia picked up the gold. Canada, they had silver, and the US, they picked up the bronze medal. So Australia have fared pretty well over the last few years since 1995. In 2002, as Moylan gets the try there for Ireland. 2002, the Aussies, they had a bronze medal there. Finished out of the placings in Christchurch in New Zealand in 2006. Came second in 2010, picked up a silver medal, and went one better 4 years ago in Odense in Denmark. And they picked up the gold there, beating Canada in the final. So it'll be interesting to see which way that goes in this tournament. And they'll be the first side, if they can win, the Australians, to defend their title on home soil. So defending champs on home soil. Dineen works his way nicely. Just tries to play at the line. Works it beautifully. Great work from McCarthy there, you could see in the number 2. Held up the defensive line beautifully. Just allowed Dineen to slide through. And it's now 48-45, just over 3 to play. Sandberg looking for some options. Gives it to Thomas Yett. Yett plays it at the line. Punches it through. Jansen will have the ball in open court. He'll just slow down the clock here, you'd think. 27 seconds left as he crosses the line for the try. Of course, if you're in the market for a new wheelchair rugby chair this Friday, August 10 at the 2018 World Championship, IWRF, they'll auction off a Vesco competition wheelchair. It's valued at almost $9,000. Now, auction proceeds, they'll go to support the IWRF Hall of Fame, sponsored by Vesco Metal Craft. You can sign up in advance. I encourage you to do so. For more information, head online, IWRF.com, for all that information for a great auction that'll take place in a couple of days' time. That'll be finals day, Friday. So head online. I encourage you to get involved. And, well, it's an auction for a wheelchair rugby chair. It's valued at almost $9,000. So place your bids at IWRF.com. Tomorrow, of course, we've got some wonderful action. It starts at the Netball Centre at 10 o'clock in the morning. Colombia and Poland. It'll be their first ever meeting at a Wheelchair Rugby World Championship, so that'll be terrific for both sides. The Polacks, as they are called, they'll be in fine form and looking for another win. They've just come off a win in that last game that we saw today. That was against Canada. So Canada suffering their second loss of the tournament. Of course, France yesterday, bit of a boil-over in that one. Canada were expected to pick up the victory on that occasion as Thomas Yett now has the ball. Just plays it at the line, 49-46 in favour of the Swedes, trying to look for 50 points, and does that, Thomas Yett. He'll get the points there, just over 2 to play in this particular game. A big thank you to all our sponsors, GIO, City, Land Rover, the Australian Defence Force, the Australian Navy, Rugby AU, Wheelchair Sports New South Wales. Wonderful, wonderful sponsors. Great to have them a part of the Wheelchair Rugby family as Dineen works it nicely. Thomas Yett just takes the ball out of his hand on that occasion. And, of course, the ball is the Molten ball. It's the IWRF official ball for the tournament in 2018. So you can head online, 2018WRWC.com, for all your information with the tickets and the event information. You can hear the dulcet tones of Gary Lowe in the background. He's the court announcer here at the Key Centre, doing a superb job, Gaz, over the last couple of days. A Brisbane boy. As Kira Staunton, I can see on the court now for the Irish. So that'll be interesting to see how this goes. Terrific young female player. Comes away nicely, tapped away by Yet, and Yet gets the ball. You can see Kira Staunton in the 9 jumper. She's been a superb player. Of course, Isabella Rubak for the Polish side. Another great female in this sport. And Maya Marshall, really looking forward to calling her on the court. They will be playing tomorrow against Ireland. That will be in the Netball Centre at 3:30. Kiwis, of course, coming off the loss to Denmark earlier. That was at the Netball Centre. Bevan Jenkinson called all the action of that one, as now the passage of play comes to Sandberg. Sandberg just works it. Just over a minute to play, as you can see, in this contest between Sweden and Ireland. Nice pass over the top from Sandberg and gives it to Thomas Yet, and Yet will get the points on that occasion. So some wonderful females involved. I mentioned a number of them. Kira Staunton, of course, has the ball now for Ireland. Great player. Maya Marshall, Isabella Rubak for Poland. And, of course, Robin Lambert, a young girl from Western Australia. She played for a team known as the Asteron West Coast Enforcers. They played at the national domestic level a couple of years ago. Haven't seen Robin in wheelchair rugby, but she's done plenty of great things since from a sporting level. Terrific young girl, Robin, and always active, always up to some great sports. And she's a great player, female player, for the great sport of wheelchair rugby. And it's fantastic to see both male and female competitors playing together in the sport. It's pretty rare that you see that at an elite level such as this. As Hildebrand will inbound it for Sweden, 51-47. Into Yat, just under a minute to play as Sandberg plays it at the line. Tries to work his way around some traffic. Goes around O'Hanlon there in 33. Staunton now trying her best to get involved there. Sandberg tries to work it nicely. You can see Hildebrand in the 9 just providing some protection. Great work from Janssen in the 13. Just over 30 seconds to play in this contest between the Swedes and the Irish. Margin is 4 points. Sweden lead it. Staunton now trying her best to get involved there. Sandberg just gets it. Look at the reach for Saunders. Great work there from Kira Staunton, I should say. Now it goes to Sandberg. Sandberg just soaking up the clock. 15 seconds left. 2 seconds left on that shot clock. But the penalty is blown. So it'll go back to 15 seconds on the game and shot clock. And we're in the final term. So it'll be a win to Sweden on this occasion. So they will get their first win of the tournament after losses to the Australians and the Danes yesterday. Sandberg goes through in the final seconds. You can see him counting down the clock. He goes there for that try, the late try, maybe the last points of the game. 5 seconds to go. 52-47. Staunton inbounds it nicely to Deneen. Deneen will just soak up the time on the clock. So a terrific game we have certainly seen here at the Key Centre. The last game on day 2 of the 2018 IWRF Wheelchair Rugby World Championship. And it's a win to the Swedes. They finally get a victory after losses to the Danes and the Australians earlier today. It was Denmark yesterday, Australia earlier today at the Netball Centre. So they get their first win of the tournament. Unfortunately for the Irish, it's their 3rd consecutive loss. But I tell you what, they have really improved game by game by game. You can see that they are learning game by game by game. So wonderful to see them a part of this 2018 World Championship event for wheelchair rugby. Tomorrow, plenty of great action for day 3. If you've got some spare time, I know it's a Tuesday, it's a work day, but we kick off at 10 o'clock and we go right through to 6:30. So people don't work 9 to 5 these days. They work all sorts of crazy and odd hours. Myself, I do very early hours myself. So People work different hours, but if you can, please come out. You'll be able to pick up a ticket. It'll give you entry into the Key Centre and the Netball Centre. 10 o'clock we start with Colombia and Poland. That'll be at the Netball Centre. That's home of the Sydney Swifts and the GWS Giants netball team. We come here for the first game of the day. That's Great Britain and Canada, 11 o'clock. I'll be calling all the action with Molly Gray on that one. Then we go back to the Netball Centre for 12:30. It'll be France and the USA. That should be a good game because both sides have had a couple of wins and losses, so that should be an interesting contest. Then an hour later, here at the Key Centre, so both of those games, France and the USA and Denmark and Australia, they'll be going simultaneously, but that should be a good test for the Danes against Australia. They're undefeated, the Aussies, against New Zealand. They had the victory just after the opening ceremony, and then, of course, earlier today, they picked up that win over Sweden over at the Netball Centre. So they'll be here 1:30 at the Key Centre. 2 hours later, it'll be New Zealand-Ireland. That'll be a good game. The Kiwis, they'll be fired up over their loss to Denmark. That was yesterday. Denmark 55-54. That was earlier today, but it'll be yesterday, tomorrow, New Zealand and Ireland. That should be a terrific game at 3:30 at the Netball Centre. We then come back to the Key Centre. 4 o'clock, it'll be Sweden taking on Japan. Really looking forward to this contest. Sweden have picked up their first win here, 52-47 over the Irish. Japan, they are in superb form. Daisuke Ikazaki, Sayo Noromatsu, some terrific players in that lineup. Really looking forward to Japan's clash with Australia. That'll be on Wednesday. That'll be here at the Key Centre. So looking forward to that action. So 4 o'clock, Sweden, Japan at the Key Centre. 6 o'clock, it'll be Great Britain and Colombia. This should be a great game. Colombia looking for a win in the tournament. Great Britain, they've had some mixed form right across the opening 2 days of this tournament. That's at the Netball Centre. Bevan Jenkinson will be your caller for that event. Myself, John O'Farr, I'll be doing all the action at the Key Centre. And then we wrap up here at the Key Centre at 6:30 like we did today. And on this occasion, it'll be France and Poland. So some wonderful games for day 3 still to come here on the 7th of August. That'll be day 3 of the GIO 2018 IWRF Wheelchair Rugby World Championship. It's been a terrific game, a privilege to call. Sweden just too good for the Irish. Let's hope the Irish can pick up a win tomorrow on day 3. 52-47. It's a win to the Swedes. My name is John O'Farr. On behalf of all the team for the Be Live streaming side, it's been a privilege to bring you this day 2 action. We hope we can have your company tomorrow for day 3. Until then, have yourselves a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow from 10 o'clock when Colombia face off with Poland.